If you are looking for some last minute gifts and don't have a lot of time, well, you're in luck. Today I'm going to teach you how to make these cute mushroom plushies. You can make several of them in a day. It's pretty beginner friendly, and the best part is you could use scraps you have lying around. So if you want to follow along, I have the pattern linked below. It's called the shroom plushie. So let's just jump right in. So I gathered up all my supplies, and depending on how many mushrooms you want to make, you do want a small bag of these pellets. This is doll pellets, and it's a 2-pound bag that has lasted me a long time. Depending on how many you're going to make, you want to adjust. I also have a leftover stuffing from my small handmade business. Obviously, you don't need a big box like this if you're just making a few, but I'm going to be using the stuffing left over from that. And I already gathered up all my little scraps for this project. Each one of these mushrooms was once a top I made for my small handmade business. I kept all my scraps and I went through and picked what was cute for this project. So it's a great way to use up all your remnants. And I went ahead and laid out the mushroom cap in the order I want the end result to look like. If you are alternating colors like this, it's really important to lay it out now so you don't accidentally sew the two colors that are the same next to each other. Go ahead and adjust. And for this tutorial, I'm going to focus on the two classic red mushroom ones. I'm going to do one cotton all over print and one in the towel fabric, just so you can see one fuzzy and one not, so I could give you ideas of how to make your mushroom. So once you lay it out, we'll head to the machine up next. Now for the sewing, we will start with the cap and we'll be working with each half separately. So grab 3 pieces of the cap. Starting with the middle piece and one side, with right sides together, sew seam. A tip to sew the curves is to use a pointy tool like small scissors to gently distribute and push the fabric evenly. This might take some practice, but once you get the hang of it, the rest will be easy. Now trim 1/8 of an inch off the seam allowance and clip the curves about every 3/8 inches. After clipping and trimming the curve, you want to press open the seam. I'm using an ironing sausage here to press open the seam, but I realized not everyone owns one of these, so I was thinking of like a DIY thing that you could do at home. So basically, I wrapped a yoga ball in an old sock that's clean, and you could kind of use this as leverage and the curve to press open the seam. I figured that people own some type of ball. I think a tennis ball would work. Make sure to wrap it in something so it doesn't melt and ruin your project, but this is a fun little quick little hack if you don't own one of these. So either DIY something yourself or use an ironing sausage, but it's important to press open the seam, especially on the cap, to preserve the curve. Sew the other side to the middle piece, trim, clip, and press just like the other side. Now repeat these steps to the other side of the cap. If adding a loop, take 3 inches of your trim and fold in half. Adjust the length if you want a longer loop. Tack in place to one side of the cap by centering the trim and lining it up with the raw edges. With right sides together, join the 2 halves of the cap. Trim, clip, and press open the seams. Take the cap bottom with right sides together, line up the notches and sew to notch and back tack. Repeat this to the other side. This will leave an opening in the middle. Then you could press the seam open. Take the cap and the cap bottom and pin together right sides together, making sure to line up the cap center line with the seam in the cap bottom. Sew pieces together, overlapping the previous stitch about 1 inch. Trim 1/8 inch off the seam allowance and clip the curves. Don't press these seams. Flip inside out and gently roll out these seams. If things don't look smooth, go back in and clip the curve more until you have your desired look. Now that the mushroom cap is pretty much assembled, I'm going to set this aside so we could do the hand sewing portion all together at the very end. So set this aside for now and we're going to move on to the stem. But before we do, just make note that the bottom of the stem is wider than the top, so you're not flipping it around. So just make note that the bottom part is wider and the top portion is smaller. Now for the stem. If adding a label, do so now to the right side of the stem bottom. Sew stem side seams right sides together and press seams open. You don't have to trim these seams. Pin together stem bottom to stem right sides together. Then sew around, overlapping the previous stitch about 1 inch. This seam is very curvy, so go slow and distribute fabric evenly. It helps sewing with the stem bottom underneath since the bobbin feeds a bit faster than the top. Trim seam allowance an 1/8 inch off and clip the curves. Flip inside out and roll out the seam until you get the desired look. Sew stitch guideline at stem opening 1/16 inch shy of the seam allowance, so when folded it equals 3/8 of an inch. Then clip the curves. Now for the fun part, we're gonna close up the mushrooms by stuffing it and with a little hand sewing. So I'm gonna stuff the caps first, and depending on how you want it to look like, just adjust the stuffing amount. For example, this one is kind of overly stuffed for that rounded bottom, but some of them I just kind of stuffed it just enough to kind of have that flat bottom. So depending how you want the mushroom cap to look, just adjust the stuffing amount. So it's just a big handful, and I'm gonna stuff them and then we'll go on to some hand sewing. Taking a big handful and stuff the cap. I like mine pretty stuffed but not overly stuffed. Play around with the amount, but it is a healthy sized handful. After stuffing, I kind of massage it in to fill the cap evenly. I'm doing the same thing here. I find that this one requires a little less stuffing since the fabric isn't as thick as the towel one. To close the cap, we are going to use a slip stitch. To do a slip stitch, anchor a single layer of thread inside the seam allowance by knotting onto the fabric a couple times. Thread through the seam to the other side and tunnel down around 1/8 of an inch and out across to the other side. Repeat until closed. This doesn't have to be super neat since it's going to be covered, but it is good practice for when we sew on the stem. Secure the end by double knotting onto the seam discreetly as possible and thread the end to the inside to hide the tail and cut. Now fill the stem with 1/2 cup pellets. I find using something to funnel it in, like this pattern piece, makes it less messy. Afterwards, fill the rest with polyfill up to the stitch guideline. Taking the stem template, center it onto the cap bottom. Now using an erasable marking pen, draw on guide. Join cap to the stem using the same slip stitch we just did. Anchor thread to the inside of the seam allowance of the stem and thread out just underneath the stitch guideline and across to the cap drawn line. Tuck under the stem seam allowance just enough to hide the stitch line. It helps to lay this on the side and sew towards you. I like to take a few stitches loosely, then pulling the threads tight. Keep repeating until fully sewn on, sewing a few and pulling tight. To end the stitches, anchor the thread into the seam as discreetly as possible, double knotting it and hiding the tail to the inside and cut. The last thing you want to do is steam off any markings you have from the template. The end results are so cute. It really brings a smile and joy to any space. You could hang them. It can be a desk friend or simply just a decor item. The possibilities with this pattern are endless. You could really mix and match it and make it your own style. After doing a few of these, you'll be able to bust these out whenever you need a last minute gift or you just want to decorate with them. Again, the pattern is linked below. If you decide to make these, please tag me. I'd love to see your creations. You could also tag me on Instagram or TikTok. Please follow me there if you haven't already. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe. It really helps small creators like me get discovered. I will be releasing more patterns in the near future, so don't forget to put those notifications on. Thanks again for watching. I'll see you guys soon. Bye.